Hello and welcome to this, our 8th lesson in Rails. Here we're going to look at SQL and inserting it into the active record queries. So we can include native SQL inside our active record queries, but also we need to protect against SQL injection. So this is a hacker alert. So let's have a look at our database. And we have a look at our users that we created in the last lesson, and we find by a name. So that's good. We can use find with an ID or several IDs to give several entries, or we can use find by with a hash, and we can use where also to query our database in the console. So that is really useful, but also we can insert SQL into our active record requests, since active record is merely a wrapper for our SQL queries. So here we're again looking at the column names, and first of all we've done find by mark, and we've checked our database. And we also might want to, we might not remember the full name of who we're looking for. We can remember that it rhymes with age. Do you remember who we put in for that? Well, this was Nicolas Cage, because his last name ends with age. So that gives us an easier way of finding records, but this opens us to hacking. So we can have our SQL inside where and find by, but hacking is a thing, so we do have to watch out for it. Let's add a username and password to our users on our Facebook app. So we've got rake db migrate to add the columns to our database, and we've just left them as strings, and the migration is being produced below. So we add our passwords. We're not being hugely imaginative here with our passwords and usernames, and we're also putting them in the same database as our users, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but we should really do some more protection for that. We'll look at that in more detail later on, and we can use bcrypt and various other protections for our passwords. So we've run rakedb seed from our seeds.rb to load our data, and we can look in our database again, our local database with RailsDB, which is an SQLite. We use .tables to see what tables we've got, .headers on and .mode columns for our presentation of the data, and we've done select all from users, which is an SQL command. Now here's our hacker alert. So say a username, a malicious username with J Williams. Say he adds, or she adds, a password of hello closing at the speech mark, or x equals x. Now x equals x without a closed speech mark on the x, a single speech mark on the x, opens us up to a hack attack. So user.where username equals single quote username, or password equals single quote password close single quote, that with the password entered in opens us up to username, user.where username equals J Williams, or password equals hello, close the speech, or, so adding another or, x equals x. Well, x equals x will be always true. So the where returns all of the data on all of our users in the database, which could be a bit of a scandal for our Facebook app. So the conclusion really is that we need to, we can use SQL with ActiveRecord, and it's very useful, but also it can be dangerous. So in our next lesson, we'll look in a bit more detail at how to query our database and how to use different array and hash methods on our results.